Hello, my name is Clark Jolley, and I am here today to ask for your vote and your support to become the next congressman from Oklahoma's 5th Congressional District so I can fight for you, each and every one of you. The reason why is quite simple, because Congress and Washington are broken. Too much government, too much spending, too many taxes. They're all destroying our country, our freedoms, and our way of life. And we need someone who will fight to repeal Obamacare, someone who will fight to lower high taxes, and someone who will fight, just like Senator Tom Coburn has, against wasteful spending that burdens not only this nation today, but future generations to come. Federal overreach has burdened our state, and it's destroying our way of life. I will fight every day with every breath that I have to rein in government, make it smaller, make it more efficient, and to remind politicians in D.C. that they are spending our money and it's got to stop. But my desire to represent you in Congress is backed up with experience. As a conservative leader in the Oklahoma State Senate, I helped lead the fight to put a constitutional amendment in place to protect Oklahomans from Obamacare and against any individual mandate. And I support Attorney General Scott Pruitt in his defense of the overly intrusive federal government and applauded Governor Fallon's decision to reject federal funding that could have endangered and compromised Oklahoma's lawsuit against the federal intrusion. And until Obamacare is repealed, I will fight to ensure that America's health care decisions will be left to people individually and not to a bureaucrat in Washington, D.C. When you first entrusted me with your confidence 9 years ago, the Oklahoma state income tax was at a rate of 7%. I have been a champion who has fought to lower that repeatedly, and today it stands at 5.25%. Let me say that to you another way. I have successfully fought to reduce Oklahoma state income taxes by 25% over the last 9 years. I've championed lower property taxes. I've fought for eliminating unfriendly business taxes. As the chairman of the Senate Appropriations Committee, I have fought for lower taxes and have balanced our budget the same way that families have to balance theirs. Let me be very, very clear. When I'm your congressman and the high taxers and liberals propose to balance the budget with even higher taxes, you can be sure of one thing: I will say no to higher taxes. In Washington, I will propose a responsible constitutional amendment to balance our federal budget and dedicate any surpluses to paying down the enormous federal debt that threatens the economic freedom and viability not just of our children and our grandchildren, but now my generation of Americans as well. We cannot continue to jeopardize our future and bring to a tragic end our founding fathers' great experiment with deficit spending, and you can be sure in Washington, I will fight to stop that. My life has been in the 5th District. I was born at Baptist Hospital. I grew up in Del City. I attended and graduated from Oklahoma Baptist University. When I established my small business, I did so in Oklahoma City, and I am raising my family in Edmond with these good people behind me. I'm so very proud of my family and that they are standing here behind me today. I'd like to introduce my wife, Verlyn, my daughter, Lauren, my son and sign champion king, Alex, who are all with me today. My mother, Margaret, is with us. My father, Paul, he was a member of Oklahoma's and America's greatest generation, and he fought in World War II proudly in the South Pacific. He has the best seat in the House today, and I'm honored to be his son. I learned my values from my mom and my dad. I learned my values from family. Those strong conservative values are the 5th District's values. Hard work, limited government, faith in an almighty creator who granted us our blessings of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those are our shared conservative values, and those values are what are desperately needed to fix what is broken in Washington. I am humbled and my family is humbled that all of you here today are with me as we begin on our quest. But as I stand here today, I can promise you one thing. I will fight for you, and I will fight for our shared conservative values. Thank you very much. God bless Oklahoma, and God bless the United States of America. I'd be happy to take a few questions real briefly.
Senator, will you keep your position as chairman of the Appropriations?
It's my understanding and belief that I will continue, and I've already assured Brian Bingman, our President Pro Tem, that I am going to continue to do my first duty, that is to do my job as representing Edmonds in the Oklahoma State Senate, and I plan on continuing in the job as Appropriations Chairman. It's going to be a very tough budget year, and I think we will see again that we will cut budgets and balance them, which is exactly what Washington, D.C. needs to learn to do. Any other questions?
How about would you have supported the compromise budget bill that was approved by Congress?
Let me tell you, I have not read the bill, so I'm not going to tell you if I would have voted for it or not, because I think you need to actually read the bill before you vote for it. And not having read the budget, not having read the bill, I don't think it's right for me to critique the decisions that those folks made.
But you'd be willing to work with Democrats. Obviously, the administration and the Senate is a different party. Do you feel like you'd be able to work across party aisles?
When I arrived in Oklahoma State Senate, I was a member of the minority party and had a Democrat majority that had been in place since statehood. We had a Democrat governor, and then 2 years later we had a tie in which it required us literally to work bipartisanly. I think we have shown and demonstrated in Oklahoma, then I actually should mention, once we got a Republican governor, things went into overdrive in terms of moving our state forward in the right direction. We need to make sure that our conservative values, that we're not willing to compromise on that, but we also need to make sure that we govern responsibly. And it's time for us to return civil discourse. It's fine to disagree with people on their issues, but you don't have to be disagreeable in it. We need professionalism, and we need people to bring that back to the United States House of Representatives, and I intend to do that. Any other questions? No, thank you so much for joining me, and I'd like to thank all my friends up here who are joining me as well. Thank you so much.